What makes a man a legend? Is it through years of honing his craft until he becomes a master of it? Is it a life story that brought fame and fortune and took him to far-flung places all around the world until, after decades in exile, he was finally able to come back home? Is it the enduring musical legacy he leaves behind, revered by so many as one of the most beloved South Africans of all time? Hugh Ramapolo Masekela was born in the coal mining town of Witbank in 1939. Whilst at school in Johannesburg, he was mentored by anti-apartheid priest Trevor Huddleston, who gave him his first trumpet. Little did Father Huddleston know the impact his kind act would have on young Hugh, on jazz, South Africa and the world. Bra Hugh's great friend Jonas Gwangwa remembers the seminal moment in both of their lives.
He was a class ahead of me, so we were not really friends until he asked for an instrument from Father Huddleston, and he got the trumpet. And then when I saw that, I asked for a trombone. But I wanted a clarinet, actually. But I just said, could I have a trombone?
Hugh and Jonas began to hone their craft, and along with fellow luminaries like Abdullah Ibrahim and Kippie Mwekezi, gave birth to the Afro-jazz sound the world has come to love. It was a time of great political upheaval in the country. In the shadow of the Sharpeville massacre, 21-year-old Hugh Masekela left South Africa for America upon the invitation of Miriam Makeba. It would be 31 years before he would see his homeland again. It was whilst in exile that Hugh Masekela found international fame. Living abroad would shape not only the music he made, but also the man he became, as journalist Dudley Molloy explains.
But when he went to the US, one of the advices that he was given was, you know what, there are so many of us here, you pick up a stone, you throw it anywhere, you'll hit a great musician. And the best thing for you to be successful is to stick to your kind of sound. And Bra Hugh listened to that advice, took that advice.
Heeding these wise words, Hugh looked to home for inspiration. The result is a body of work that for many became the perfect soundtrack for the anti-apartheid struggle.
You look at, for example, Stimela. You know, Stimela is a highly political song. He wrote it while he was in the US.
There's a train that comes from Malawi and Namibia. There's a train that comes from Zambia.
In his lifetime, Hugh befriended many musicians from all over the world, like Zimbabwean guitarist Oliver Mtukudzi, with his charm and humility.
He's the only artist that flew from South Africa to come to Zimbabwe and get to my home area in the rural areas. He paid me a visit to that far. The guy was humble enough to respect me.
With the advent of democracy in South Africa at the turn of the 90s, Hugh Masekela was at last able to return home. Now older and wiser, Bra Hugh became a mentor to a new generation of South African musicians like Kabelo Mabalane.
I got to meet him when I was still in the clutches of addiction and substance abuse. My mother, she actually didn't know Bra Hugh from a bar of soap, and it was literally a shot in the dark for her. Got hold of Bra Hugh to come speak to me because he was quite open about his struggles with substance abuse.
For decades, he fought his demons, and eventually he won.
You have to be strong, and you have to resist those people. He made a major decision that I'm going to stop this.
He told me, if I don't change my life, shared some of his experiences with drug and alcohol abuse. And the rest is history. And I'm proud to say I'm also part of Bra Hugh's legacy.
Songstress Simphiwe Dana remembers the great compassion of Hugh Masekela after her serious car crash.
When I had my accident, I was really down in the dumps because, I had this huge scar on my face. I felt I had lost half of my face. I was already planning, okay, what's plan B, because I'm not going to be able to sing again. So I was really feeling sorry for myself, and I was just hiding. When I came from hospital. Next thing, there's a hoot at the gate, and Brahu is there, and it did something to me. It made me feel like, okay, I'm important to legends like Brahu. You know, this person that I am that feels very, very small right now is important.
Throughout his life, Brahu continued to make music and collaborate with artists like Mikasa's J Something.
The more time that I spent with him, I just soaked up as much as I could. And literally, I went back to my room that night, I think it was the second day that we'd been together, and I wrote the song in like 5 minutes. I was so inspired by everything that he had said. And that song is not about South Africa, it's about Brahu in South Africa. So the first line of the song is, I left you, then I kissed you on my return. And obviously, you know, Brahu was in exile for 21 years. When he came back with such an appreciation for the country that it felt like he was kissing the country.
I left you, then I kissed you on my return. I watched you from every corner and every curve, and I wonder.
Whilst the nation mourns the passing of one of its greatest sons, it is the family that grieves the most. But rather than shed a tear, his son Sel Masekela prefers to remember his father's ebullient laughter most.
I mean, my memories with my dad are of laughter first at all times. My father had the most infectious laugh on the planet, you know, and when something really, really hit him, it came from deep, you know.
But I have to go and see Go-Go in Mpanjanai.
He had this manner where he would laugh really, ha, 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 ha. And then, you know, he'd do this thing where he'd, you know, and laugh in his cheeks. And anytime, you know, I had the opportunity that where I made my father laugh was a big deal because he didn't give out laughs for free.
Perhaps his greatest legacy, more so than his music, are the lives he touched so indelibly.
Dear Brahu, I want to say thank you very much for everything you've done for my generation of musicians and for the past generations.
Brother, my cousin, my fellow musician, my revolutionary brother, my everything.
Thank you for making me feel like I was a real superstar, and thank you for making me believe in myself in ways that I could never have dreamt of.
Your music lives on with us, so you haven't left us.
May you rest in peace. In fact, may you fly free.
I'm very humbled, you know, but like when you start getting this kind of lifetime achievement awards, what they're really giving you is like old people's awards.
It's like,
it means like, hey, it's been nice, get out of town.
In the pantheon of South African artists, Hugh Masekela stands alone without equal, and tributes have been pouring in for him from around the world. Tonight on Carte Blanche, we speak to some of those who knew him best. Perhaps no other name is more synonymous with South African jazz than Hugh Masekela. He may be gone, but the music lives on. And tonight on Carte Blanche, we look back on the life and times of this great musician. Musician, political activist, raconteur, gone but not forgotten. The life and times of Hugh Masekela this Sunday on Carte Blanche.